Welcome back. I am surprised you have returned. Recent statistics state that it is much more enjoyable to perform these heroic acts than listen to them. Oh my, please hold. My superiors would like me to recant my last statement and remind you of our city's upcoming library glimmer drive. Remember, every bit of glimmer helps. Please enjoy your requested audio presentation.
The clown looked up at the sky. Fleeing ships were trying to break orbit when suddenly they exploded. And well, words really can't describe, the panic was so thick you could almost taste it. I'm not gonna lie, I've been afraid a few times in my life. But when those ship parts and those people in Sino began falling around the city, well, I was terrified. Honestly, the next couple of minutes are a blur for me. I just remember thinking over and over, we were supposed to be safe. Next thing I know, the clown had pulled me down under something concrete and was screaming in my face, "A ship! Do you have a ship?" I just nodded dumbly as he yanked me up by my collar and dragged me through the crowded streets. I looked at the sky and saw these massive objects, cabal ships I think they call them now, shooting fire down on the city. He had his hand cannon out. He shot it, I guess. It's weird how I can remember it, but not much else. Anyways, I led him to my bay. As we rode the lift up the garage, I tried to explain it was just a delivery model. I don't think it sunk in until we got there. You should have seen his face when he saw it. "Can it even break orbit?" he asked. I admit, between his disappointment and looking at my scrap of junk, I felt like I had killed us both. There was some pounding on the door behind us. Whether it was people or those aliens, I didn't even know. The men in purple walked toward the open bay exit. The little turret defenses we had, they weren't even firing. They were probably the first to go. "Death above," he said as his eyes fell to the streets beneath us. "And death below." I just nodded quietly. He crossed his arm and stared out. "I love it," he said. My mouth kind of just hung open. Was he insane? The one person who I thought could get me off this rock. And then he turned around with this huge grin on his face. A wild look in his eye, like a dog about to get a bone. I'd seen that look before, and I just froze. He raised his hand cannon and pointed it right at my face. "Keys, if you please." I watched him fly off, and I just sank down against some of the empty delivery crates and listened to the banging. Banging at the door, banging of the ship explosions, banging in my head. It hit me hard, the idea of it. I decided not to delay the inevitable. I got up and went to the door. Took a deep breath and closed my eyes as I pressed the entry switch. People rushed in past me. "Close the door!" they yelled. I did, and one of them bashed the console, locking it down. We were trapped now. I was about to scream at them and about to let loose when the guns started firing. We looked out and the automated defenses had spun up and were firing in all their glory. Everyone was cheering and whooping. "Ha!" This gorgeous girl with long black hair and piercing blue eyes, she grabbed my face and kissed me hard. Like magic, I fell in love, and then she turned and kissed the guy on the other side of her. And just like that, I fell out of love. At the mouth of the docking bay, dust began to kick in, and a big gust of wind pushed us back. A ship rose into the open, blocking the city from view. A door opened, and the clown stood there with his hand cupped over his mouth. "Come with me if you want to leave," he shouted in a terrible Austrian accent. Part of me wished I'd never doubted him, but I knew that was a lie.